The rain was merciless that evening, falling in silver sheets against the marble walls of a grand house that seemed untouched by weather, time, or sorrow. But near the back gate, under the dim yellow glow of a security lamp, a woman sat on the wet ground, her uniform soaked, her hands covering her face. She was crying quietly, as if afraid even her tears might disturb the silence of the rich. Her name was Lila, the maid who had worked in that mansion for years, and tonight she wasn't supposed to be here. Before I tell you what happened next, like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness Valley. Tell me where you're watching from. This one will stay in your heart for a long time. Inside the house, lights shimmered on crystal walls. The man of the house, Mr. Raymond, a millionaire known for his success and discipline, was finishing his dinner alone. He didn't notice the sound of rain at first. Only when a flash of lightning flickered outside did he see a shadow moving through the garden camera, a figure sitting on the cold stone near the gate. At first he frowned. Another beggar? He thought. But something about the posture, familiar, fragile, made him pause. He turned up the screen brightness. The figure looked like Lila. Moments later, he stepped outside holding an umbrella. The wind slapped his face, cold and unwelcoming. The rain had soaked everything. But there she was, still sitting, trembling, her hands over her mouth. Lila? His voice was softer than usual. She turned quickly, startled, wiping her face as if caught committing a crime. "Sir, I'm sorry," she stammered. "I just needed a moment." "I'll go." He looked at her, her uniform clinging to her, shoes muddy, her eyes red. "You're crying. Why are you here?" "It's late," she hesitated, then whispered, "I didn't want anyone to see me like this." The rain fell harder. The umbrella did little to stop it. She told him her story between breaths. Her son was in the hospital. She had borrowed money to pay for his surgery, but the lender came to their small house today. He took everything, the little furniture, her savings, even the clothes drying outside. She had no way to go home tonight. She came to the mansion because she felt safe there, even if it meant sitting outside in the rain. Raymond stood silently. He was a man used to problems with price tags, but this wasn't something money alone could fix. For a moment he saw his own reflection in the puddles, all his wealth, all his pride, and yet he felt poor before this woman's quiet endurance. He opened the gate. "Come inside," he said. She shook her head. "No, sir. I'm dirty. I'll ruin your floor." "Lila," he said quietly, "you already keep it clean every day. I think it owes you that much." They stood in the hallway, the dripping sound of rain echoing through the house. He handed her a towel, but she just held it, shivering. "I'm sorry, sir," she whispered again. "I didn't mean to trouble you." For the first time, Raymond noticed the old photograph she always carried in her apron pocket, her son, smiling with missing teeth. He realized he'd seen that photo every day when she polished the glass tables. Never thinking to ask who it was, something in him broke quietly, not in shame but in awakening. He went to his study, opened his drawer, and pulled out an envelope. "This is your salary for the next 6 months," he said, placing it in her hand. "And tomorrow, your son will have a better hospital." Lila's eyes widened. "Sir, I can't take this. It's not charity," he said softly. "It's gratitude. For every day you've worked here like this house was your own." That night, when she finally left in a cab, Raymond stood by the window, watching the rain ease into mist. The house felt different, quieter, humbler, the kind of silence that comes after truth is spoken. He walked into the kitchen, the same place she used to hum softly while cleaning, and noticed her old umbrella leaning near the door, torn at one corner. He picked it up, held it for a moment, then smiled faintly. The next morning, he drove to the hospital himself. The doctors were surprised. The millionaire who rarely left his mansion came with a maid's child in his arms, making sure he received the best care. Lila tried to thank him, but he only said, "Don't thank me. Thank the rain. It washed the dust off my eyes." Days later, when her son recovered, Lila returned to work. But things were different now. She no longer bowed before him. She greeted him like a friend. And Raymond no longer gave orders. He gave time. Sometimes he would find her in the garden, looking at the sky after a rain, still afraid of storms. He'd ask. She smiled, "Not anymore." Sometimes rain doesn't come to break us. It comes to make hearts meet. As the camera fades to the sound of distant thunder, the narrator's voice lowers, calm, reflective, timeless. We often measure wealth in what we own, but true riches live in what we give, the warmth we share, the dignity we protect, and the tears we choose to wipe away. If this story moved you, like, comment, and share your Kindness Valley thoughts below, and subscribe for more untold stories that touch the heart.